Hi, I'm Clinton Durney. I'm grateful to have received CAsToR pilot project funding for a research project that explores a critical question in adolescent public health. How does social network dynamics shape the way teenagers initiate and continue using tobacco and nicotine products? We know that most tobacco use begins during adolescence or early adulthood, and the earlier a person starts to smoke, the more cigarettes that they will smoke in their lifetime, and the less likely they are to quit. However, what's less clear is exactly how peer influence, social media, and group dynamics shape those behaviors. We know these factors play an outsized role, but the way tobacco use spreads through social networks remains poorly understood. Our project aims to fill that gap by studying how tobacco-related knowledge, attitudes, and behaviors spread within teen social networks that might lead to initiation and cessation among this vulnerable population. Using data from large national surveys such as the National Youth Tobacco Survey and Monitoring the Future, we have identified broader trends and use profiles among youth. Using these insights, we are working on parameterizing a simulation model of youth social networks that will assess how friendships and social connections impact decisions around nicotine use. Looking closely at peer pressure, risk perception, the appeal of products like flavored tobacco, and new and novel products such as e-cigarettes and oral nicotine pouches. This model simulates how social structures and product use co-evolve over time and how subtle shifts in dynamics may influence tobacco use behaviors. By analyzing things like the number and arrangement of connections or how tight-knit friend groups form, we'll identify patterns that might increase or reduce the risk of teens starting to use tobacco products. We'll also explore how environmental and psychological factors like stress, advertising, exposure, or access to products interact with peer influence. The project aims to simulate a range of real-world scenarios to investigate the mechanisms through which adolescent nicotine use behaviors emerge and evolve within dynamic social networks. Beyond simulation, we are applying mathematical analysis grounded in graph theory to characterize structural properties of these networks, such as degree distribution, clustering, and centrality, and their influence on behavioral diffusion. Analogous to threshold models in epidemiology, we aim to identify critical points such as percolation thresholds or tipping points that delineate the conditions under which tobacco use behaviors either die out or spread rapidly through the network. Current efforts are focused on refining the conceptual framework and exploring the structure and behavior of the social network model. This phase has been especially valuable for crystallizing the research vision and building meaningful connections with mentors and collaborators across disciplines who bring complementary expertise. This opportunity has also provided a meaningful step in my professional growth. It's given me exposure to the mentorship and administrative sides of being a principal investigator, areas I wasn't sure I'd enjoy but have actually found energizing. It's been a refreshing shift from the highly analytical focus of research. This has allowed me to build new skills while still pursuing work I care about. At its core, this project leverages mathematical modeling and network simulations to understand the structural and behavioral mechanisms underlying adolescent substance use. By analyzing how patterns of connectivity and influence shape the diffusions of nicotine behaviors, we aim to generate insights that can directly inform public health strategies to reduce youth addiction.